hello viewers, and welcome to this week's business segment with me, Amelia Martha Nakitimbo. And yes, like you said, I'm looking at the aftermath of the just concluded, of the coming together of 4 continents, that is Asia and South America, Europe, coming into Africa. The alliance of Brazil, Russia, India and China, and later on South Africa into Brics was unthinkable over a decade ago, and there was cynicism and skepticism on whether it would reach this far. And to return to your question, Jerry, about the aftermath, the backdrop of last year's summit held in China was not ideal for the Brics countries, which were trying to upset the current world economic order. 2 of the countries, for instance, were in deep political crisis. In Brazil, the political climate was still unstable after the impeachment of former President Dilma Rousseff, and then calls for Congress to vote on the corruption charges against incumbent President Michel Temer. In South Africa, the economy fell into recession. The negative economic performance was after its gross domestic product declined by 0.7%. Then President Jacob Zuma was facing immense pressure to resign over corruption allegations, and he did. Jerry and Barbara, this over there, this is what is different in this year compared to last year. I don't know if they'll show us a picture later on the screen. When you see the picture of the presidents while they were holding hands, you'll notice what is different between this summit and last year is there's one person missing and there's another person, and that is President Cyril Ramaphosa, who is a new person in the picture. And his presidency is hoped to better the South African economy. Now, China, on the other hand, was still surprising, especially the Western world, with indications that it has the ability to become a world leader. For instance, by pushing the Belt and Road project, while Russia's image as a superpower and mystery around President Vladimir Putin was reinforced, especially by the U.S. election interference allegations and investigations which dominated the media. So that's the backdrop of last year. But with all this, the Brics countries have in over the 10 years contributed more than half of the world economic growth, according to the IMF.
So Amelia, Brics has sailed through the first decade. What are the countries hoping for the next 10 years?
To answer your question, the IMF has attributed a surge in the development financing in Brics' focus on mutual benefits without attachment or policy conditionality. Now, for South Africa, which is Africa's 2nd biggest economy, this aspect is important for development of infrastructure, as President Cyril Ramaphosa pointed out here.
One of the most important achievements, and there have been many, many achievements that we can talk about as the Brics family, has been in the first decade of Brics, was the establishment of the new development bank, which fills a critical gap in project funding.
In fact, for this particular summit, South Africa was charged with the role of rallying other African countries. Now remember, Brics believes in multilateralism as opposed to unilateralism and protectionism. Now this year, all SADC members were invited, including others like Rwanda, where President Xi visited before the Brics summit. And moving forward, the Indian Prime Minister has urged the team to take advantage of the 4th Industrial Revolution, lamenting that they missed the previous revolutions, which was highlighted in the theme. And member countries have indeed expressed interest in innovation, artificial intelligence and the like. Now, still in Asia, Brics has helped ease complicated relations between India and China, characterized by mistrust due to a border dispute. India exports to Brics have reportedly grown by 7.5% in the first quarter of 2018 over the corresponding period of 2017 in terms of total volumes. And the Chinese have made their agenda so clear, pushing it so strongly that other countries are easily joining in the struggle. One, the Belt and Road project has been welcomed in Africa. Even President Michel Temer said Brazil attaches great importance to the initiative, if I may quote his exact words. And secondly, when there is war, there is need for allies. China, not surprisingly, therefore used the platform to entice the Brics countries and others to its side in the trade war with the US. Now, Brazil hopes the alliance can help to recuperate the national economic troubles back at home, including US trade tariffs. While for Russia, if there is a new world leader emerging from the East, well, the strategy is to keep close so that you're not taken by surprise, I guess. But all in all, Brics wants to further promote global economic growth, peace and stability. That's in answer to Baba's question. And we might soon see a new letter added to Brics. That's a T. This is after Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan expressed interest in joining the group, and that would make it Brics. Funny how it almost sounds like Brexit. No other African country has expressed any known interest so far. And well, that is it for today's business segment. Until next week, bye. In the meantime, you can reach me on my Twitter handle at Amelia Martha 1.